Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Camnet Leading News. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Let's take a look at the stories that are making the headlines. A lawmaker calls for stiff sanctions on erring police officers. CHILUFYA TAYALI reminds President HH to improve the oath of secrecy from the DPP.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the...
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Thank you for staying with us, and now the news in detail. Economic and Equity Party, CHILUFYA TAYALI, has reminded President Hakainde Hichilema to remove the oath of secrecy from the Director of Public Prosecution, Lillian Siyuni, so that she can defend herself from the public backlash that she has continued to be subjected to. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Tayali says that he feels Ms. Siyuni has not done anything unconstitutional.
You know, it is really unfair, because as it is, the DPP has not done anything that we can clearly point out to say she has done something wrong, and yet she has been accused, prosecuted, and convicted in the public by the President, by the Justice Minister, and also by the Solicitor General and everybody else. They are accusing her of things that they initiated themselves. And at this point in time, the best that they can do, since they have accused her and they have said she has done this wrong, it is only right that we hear from her. But she cannot talk to the media. She cannot come out the way they have been talking themselves as politicians. For her, she's barred by the oath of secrecy. So what we are asking is that, since they have spoken, they have accused her, let us hear the other side. It is only fair that, you know, the rules of natural justice demands that you hear from both sides. We have heard from them. Can we hear from her? Can they say, can the President remove the oath of secrecy on her to say, I want you to tell the people what you did, or why you gave immunity to Milingo? Let her talk. I know some people will say, no, but she's going to the JCC. JCC, the hearings there are in camera. So we would have no privilege of knowing what really transpired.
Katombola Constituency Member of Parliament Clement Andeleki has underscored the need to undertake police patrols in order to bring sanity. Mr. Andeleki has challenged the Zambian Police High Commission to increase sanctions against erring police officers in order to install discipline. He further stated that the country must undertake police reforms in order to bring sanity. More in this report.
The Zambia police comprise of hard-working men and women who give their best to save the community by upholding their mandate to protect life and property and enforce the law against all forms of crime and disorder in order to maintain peace. But just like any other sector, it must be noted that there are some bad elements that have brought the reputation of the institution into shame. For instance, alcohol abuse among police officers has seen the integrity of the service being questioned. Authorities are aware of these matters, and earlier this year, an assurance to keep the vice was issued.
This nonsense of going to the office with beer is coming to an end. The new Dawn government would want to see officers who are well behaved. When I'm employed as a police officer, I know that I'm not supposed to ask for a tip from a person who comes to complain. And that will not allow it. From today, the police must learn that the commission has been appointed. The first thing we are going to do is to discipline and indisciplined officers, those that come on duty drunk.
United Party for National Development, UPND, Katombola Constituency Member of Parliament, Clement Andeleki, has challenged the Police High Command to improve sanctions against erring police officers.
The biggest problem that we are having now in the police is the issue of discipline. The High Command will do well to revisit and improve sanctions for erring officers. As you are aware, the standing orders of the police, 4 standing orders, are very outdated pieces of legislation. The maximum penalty an officer under discipline can face is deduction of half of his pay. The Inspector General of Police has no power to dismiss anybody in this country, even if he constituted a tribunal, unless somebody has been convicted, and so it's quite problematic. We also need institutional reforms there to ensure that the training for our police officers are tied to the realities of the day on human rights, on issues of corruption, on issues of governance. I think they'll do well.
Up to the August 12, 2021 general election, police were also caught up in extrajudicial killings, including the issue involving Sama Chipyoka and Joseph Kaunda, at a time when President Hakainde Hichilema, as an opposition leader, was appearing before the police for questioning, a matter which remains in court. And Mr. Andeleki has underscored the need to undertake police reforms in order to bring sanity.
You are aware that currently we are still mourning our brothers and sisters who were gruesomely murdered under the previous government. The death of Nsama, Kaunda, the manner of handling of our people goes to the root on the aspect of discipline, on the aspect of reform in the police. These are issues we cannot gloss over. The conduct of the police leading to the elections last year, together with their barbaric law called Public Order Act, cannot be left unchecked. It is very sad that we could lose lives in such a manner. And the people who are presiding on the helm, or were on the helm of authority, Honorable Kamchongo and his team, managed to acquire very serious arsenal against the Zambian people. Never in the history of this country should things like that happen.
Understand that police have been improving the curriculum for training of police officers, but more still needs to be done. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Patriotic Front Mateo Constituency Member of Parliament Mao Sampa says progress has been made towards addressing the challenges of water and sanitation in his constituency. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Sampa is confident that pending issues will finally be put to rest. More in this report.
The Sustainable Development Goal number 6 in Zambia aims to achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all by 2030. It also seeks to achieve access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all, and open defecation, paying special attention to the needs of women and girls and those in vulnerable situations. Lusaka's Matero constituency is amongst the communities that are affected by the problem of water and sanitation.
Kahiu culture smart ganzira kwepini kumchinga police manzi siyafika ekafika 05 kwenda 14.
It's just next to us, and the schools open on Monday, and as you can see here, kids grade 1s are supposed to be passing through this water going to class.
Now, under the community development funds, Matero Member of Parliament Mao Sampa has disclosed plans to improve the water systems in his area.
The challenge has been there for a while and progress is being made. When I left as mayor, we had already left a program in place for Matero. As you've seen, there's a Chinese company there putting new pipes because the pipes were rotten. They were from colonial days. So we're putting new pipes both for water and for sewerage. What's important is to ensure that the other complaint is the contractors are leaving the trenches uncovered. So I've been speaking to them and we'll see some improvement.
Mr. Sampa discloses that local contractors will be used in the process.
It's been a problem indeed. Let's start with ourselves, all residents of Matero. ensure that you don't throw the garbage anywhere. But other than that, also, we will try to see if we can partner with the council under CDF and see if we can get a local company. And I'm encouraging youths to set up something to do with garbage. There's money in garbage to be made. I think residents pay something like 20 kwacha in markets and elsewhere. So that's another proposal you can put in the CDF, and as MP I'll support.
By 2030, Zambia seeks to improve water quality by reducing pollution, eliminating dumping and minimizing release of hazardous chemicals and materials. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Governance activist Isaac Mwanza has accused the Chief Justice of failing to safeguard the integrity of the judiciary by continuing to allow what he terms as unnecessary transfers. I beg your pardon. Let me just read that again. Governance activist Isaac Mwanza has accused the Chief Justice of failing to safeguard the integrity of the judiciary by continuing to allow what he terms as unnecessary transfers of judicial officers and judges heading cases. Mr. Mwanza was commenting on the recent decision by the Judicial Service Commission to transfer 10 magistrates to different provinces.
The position is that under the Constitution,
yes,
there is no power for the Judicial Service Commission to transfer the magistrates and the judges. But there is also a law which is inferior to the Constitution, the Service Commissions Act. This act allows the Judicial Service Commission to transfer the magistrates and the judges. What the argument is which one is supreme? Is it the Act of Parliament or the Constitution? Because the Constitution grants the independence of the judiciary. The judiciary comprises of the courts, all the courts, the subordinate court, the local court, the high court, and all the higher courts. So in short, what we are saying is that whilst the inferior law, which is the Civil Service Act, gives them power to transfer the magistrates, the Constitution does not give them power to transfer the magistrates. And as such, provision in the inferior law is actually in breach of the Constitution. It contravenes the Constitution because it compromises the independence of the judiciary.
Some well-wishers have come to the aid of an 11-year-old girl of Lusaka's Mtandabantu compound in Kanyama constituency who was left paralyzed after suffering from stroke. Miriam Kaimba reports that Ruth Chilanga, who was diagnosed with sickle cell, a condition that causes who was diagnosed with sickle cell, a condition that causes agonizing pain, has created a risk of life-threatening complications for her, has received a wheelchair and assorted items from well-wishers from Lusaka and Kapirimposhi districts.
On the 2nd of May 2022, Camnet TV published a story about an 11-year-old girl of Lusaka's Mutetabantu compound, Ruth Chilanga, who is diagnosed with sickle cell and was later struck by a stroke which has left her paralyzed. A well-wisher from Kapiri, who did not want to be named, has donated 500 kwacha toward a medication bill, while the Muslim Social Welfare Trusted have donated a wheelchair and some other items. Through Camnet TV, the family pleaded with well-wishers to assist them with a wheelchair to ease mobility for their daughter, Ruth. Mother to the girl, Grace Chilanga, says she is thankful for the inspiring and humbling support that her family has received.
Namvera bwino maningi chabe nakandwa nakulira orokunchite bwanji namvera chabe bwino ke mungana nilimbisa de yamayiro twani letera mwande wempi na wadona namvera bwino.
Mrs. Chilanga is hopeful that one day her child will get better.
Awe ni mwana wanga nina chikupira kuti mwana nzakankhala bwino. Ruth mwana wanga sembe kumutenga mulungu semba namutenga kudala. Manje kuzati mwana wanga mulungu amukonda afuna kamusebenzere paziko ya pansi pano.
For Ruth, having a wheelchair seems to be a huge relief for the family. However, looking at the harsh economy with a big family of 11, surviving on repairing bicycles cannot sustain the entire family's need.
Kubanantazira kwa wheelchair na unga na salad na rice. anabira chito manini naomba so manje vinasala hapa mkani ya makwala ndiye mene ituvuta manini kaili chito amene nisebenza sinikwa nisira vonse kuti ningasonkere nyumba yeseva na pa nyumba na kuma skulu na odwala kugula makwala niyo dwala manini makwala amene amafunika pedi amafunika makwala ya 150 pedi niyo dwala manini makwala so tumakangiwa kuchitite tukwanisire vonse kuti makwala pedi nimapanga ko tunavutako business sometimes nimapanga kuti 50 kwacha so tukavuta so tukapenda 25.
Inside the shanty of Lusaka's Mutandabantu compound, located in Kanyama constituency, the Chilanga family are hopeful that their once vibrant and jovial 11-year-old daughter Ruth Chilanga, who is diagnosed with sickle cell, a condition that affects the red blood cells that carries oxygen around the body. And these cells form into sickle shape and can block blood vessels, causing anguish pain and creating a risk of life-threatening complications, will one day go back to school and achieve her dreams of becoming a soldier. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
That item brings us to the end of our Camnet News, but before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. A lawmaker calls for stiff sanctions on erring police officers. CHILUFYA TAYALI reminds President HH to remove the oath of secrecy from the DPP. Those are the stories that we had for you. Thank you for joining us on our Camnet News. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Good afternoon.